I'm hoping that you guys are receiving the same excellent sound quality. Today, Fred is not with us. Fred had other things that he had to get accomplished today, so he gave me some information that he wanted me to cover, so I'll do that. But before we go any further, I want to bring up these booklets. We have plenty of these booklets to go around. If you'd like, you could purchase them on our regular web page, and you can get that at behindthescopellc.com. You could just go to the shopping section and pick up our booklets there. Also, these amazing shirts. You could be sporting around one of these shirts to show that you support our channel. And also, terrific cups. These coffee cups, covers, tumblers. You can have a coffee cup, 15, 16-ounce coffee cup like this. And on the back of this, we could put your name, your career, where you worked, and all that information. We could have that so that in the morning when you get up, or if you're sharing coffee with somebody, they could see that you support our channel and where you fit in the aviation history, right? So, and I must say, I think coffee tastes better out of these cups anyway. So well, moving along, I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's been in the news. So Sean Duffy, he sent out information this week, or December 9th, about making aviation family friendly again. And what he means by that, he wants to get areas that have more child play areas, exercise areas. He wants to add more mothers' rooms for nursing pods, reconfiguring security checkpoints to create family screening lanes. Yeah, I like that idea. Building sensory rooms for children with special needs, and other creative terminal projects that focus on enhancing the family travel journey. Wouldn't that be nice? So as part of this, he's joined by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy, and a double board certified physician, Dr. Paul Salandro. And they're there, and this Isabel Brown, a content creator for Young Mom, and Luke Sanders, the CEO and founder of Farmer's Fridge. All these people are getting together. They're going to be brainstorming new ideas and new ways to make transportation a little bit more healthy for us and a little bit more family friendly. And who can't use that? Aren't you tired of going to the airport and watching somebody sitting there with their pajamas and whatever else hanging out of them? I would prefer to bring it back to a little bit more classier situation. And you know, it's not who you are or what you are, what you look like sometimes as far as your appearances could mean a whole different way of the way you are treated at airports. So just an FYI, okay? So moving along from Mr. Duffy's announcements, I'd like to get us to talk about a little bit of something called minimum interval takeoff, okay? What is minimum interval takeoff? The minimum interval takeoff, it's a sequence of takeoffs of aircraft behind one another. It could be anywhere from 1 minute, 30 seconds, or 15 seconds. These are MITO launches, okay? And during a MITO launch, what happens is MARSA, M-A-R-S-A, that is a designation that means the military assumes responsibility for the separation of aircraft. This is something that is applied there by the pilots and the military, not by air traffic controllers. These aircraft are going to be in close proximity of one another, so the military assumes the responsibility for those aircraft separation. It is under what FAA considers the correct separation minimum for what we can see on a radar or what you can see visually from the ground. The pilots are directly there, they're in direct control of the aircraft, so they can apply their own separation between each other. Now, a MITO launch, you could have B-52s taking off 15 seconds behind one another, okay? And the thing about a MITO launch and a B-52, remember, a B-52 is a heavy aircraft, so they have those wingtip vortices, Okay, so at 15 seconds, one rolls, goes down the runway, and these aircraft take about 12,000 foot of runway, especially on a hot day, to get in the air. And within 15 seconds after that aircraft releases brakes, the next aircraft has rolled into position and starts rolling in 15 seconds. So 15 seconds and 15 seconds, you could have 8, 9 B-52s taking off sequentially and following up a standard instrument departure route, climbing out and going on their routes and joining up as a flight at altitude to go to their target, their destination. Same thing with KC-135s or KC-10s. All of these aircraft that are refueling these B-52s, they'll go out after the B-52s so that they can get on point, their IP, and wait for the B-52s to come back and refuel those aircraft. So the KC-135s, when I was up at Loring Air Force Base, they were called water wagons. So what would happen is they would launch 15 seconds between each other, but they would dump water into the engines, which would create steam. Now, steam is one of the most, is probably the strongest natural energy that can be developed. And these aircraft, it would be like an extra rocket to their engines when they would take off, so they could lift those heavy aircraft laden with fuel off the end of the runway. It was a pretty impressive launch. By the time everything was done, you can go out to the runway and it would be nothing but black smoke lining the place between the water vapor and the exhaust of these aircraft just kind of floating around and settling down. But very loud and very impressive to watch a minimum interval takeoff. And I'm sure that they used those procedures when they were on their way down to go oust Maduro on this last mission for freeing Venezuela. And congratulations to the Venezuelan people for becoming free again. And I know that all those that are in exile here in the United States will get the opportunity to go back and see their loved ones. And I'm so happy that you'll be able to do that again. And we'll see whatever else happens as far as these communist regimes and the ones that are sending drugs into our country, what else is in store for them, okay? So let me see. Another item I would like to go over would be some of the incidents that happened in the last year. In 2025, I'm going to review the top 5 aircraft accidents that occurred. And the first one, which occurred in January at Ronald Reagan Airport, where a commercial jet and a helicopter collided. Then the next slide you see, this is a small medical jet that was carrying a child patient on board. He crashed on departure at Philadelphia Airport and we're still waiting the complete NTSB report on that one. This next slide is where a plane crashed. It was in western Alaska. They were on their way to Nome, and it just disappeared off the radar. There were 10 people on board. This aircraft was a plane that veered off the runway at Scottsdale Airport. Now, it veered off the runway and it crashed into another airplane, and it killed one person that was involved in the accident. And this last one is a collision between 2 small aircraft, Southwest Arizona, midair. It happened at Marina Regional Airport on the outskirts of Tucson. So I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day by showing these, but I am trying to bring into account how aviation is still it's a very, very safe form of flight, but it does have its drawbacks when it comes to collisions. You know, if you have a collision at 27,000 feet, chances are you're not going to do well, even with a parachute, because there's no oxygen up there. Anybody out there have any comments that they want to bring up? I'm looking at our comments page. If you want to type in and say hello that you're watching, love to hear from you. If you hear that the sound is okay, I'd like to hear that you know that you can hear me well. And Malcolm is doing a great job on the TriCaster over here. Is there anything you all would like to see us take care of in the future? I know Fred and I will be traveling around very soon, getting some more air traffic control stories from fellow retired air traffic controllers. So if you want to start talking to your friends, maybe get a group together, send us a message. Fred and I will come out and we will videotape you guys to tell your stories. I hope that you're enjoying the stories that are on our channel. We look forward to getting your comments and your feedback. And if anybody has an interesting tale that they want to tell, aviation related, we'd love to have you come on out and join us. In the not too distant future, we have a traffic reporter that will be coming out. I'm going to invite her on the channel and we're going to get some interesting stories of ATC from her. She flies around in the back of a helicopter, so I know that she's heard some interesting transmissions back and forth between air traffic control and the pilots. I'm going to invite Daniel Flores back out, our Apache helicopter pilot, and those two can talk about all kinds of whirlybird stuff that's out there. Well, I don't see anybody else chiming in. You do know that the comments page is open. If you can, please give us a little shout out. If not, thank you very much for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the future, and I look forward to bringing you many, many more stories about ATC. You all stay well, stay healthy, and remember to learn to love one another out there, okay? So from my absent friend Fred and myself, Happy New Year, and thank you for joining us. You all take care now. Bye-bye.